Kicking off a brand new week. It's our pleasure to welcome now Walter Michel. He's a senator who represents District 25. That includes Hinds and Madison County. Senator, good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Gerard. Thank you for including me this morning.
Yes, sir. So we wanted to talk to you about the wine legislation. Man, oh man, it seems like we've been working on this for a while, but we might have a breakthrough. Tell us about that.
Well, we have. It's been a long time coming, Gerard. I know I've personally worked on this direct ship bill for 8 years.
Wow.
The bill has, for one reason or another, typically died in committee each year, and it's such a close vote. I have to give credit to the retail package stores. They've done a good job of fighting it in the committee, but this year it passed out of committee on a very slim vote and got to the Senate floor. And one thing that makes it difficult is that the legislation, because of the taxation in it, requires a 60% passage. And we brought it up on the floor, and it failed the first vote by just a couple of votes. And we put it on a motion to reconsider and brought it up the next morning, and some of the votes changed, and the bill passed the Senate, and the House took it and passed it as exactly verbatim as we had passed it. It's gone to the governor. It's my understanding the governor has signed the bill, so we now be able to have direct shipment of wine in Mississippi. We'll be the 48th state to do that. I'm sorry to say it took so long, but we now can do it.
Senator, explain to the audience now, what will this allow residents of Mississippi to do that they presently cannot do? What wines would be available? How would this work?
Well, the first thing to know is that there's over 10,000 wineries in the United States, over 10,000. And
wow.
We typically think of Oregon and Washington and California. California does have almost 5,000 of them, but there's wineries in just about every state. Matter of fact, since this bill is passed, I've had people personally contact me and tell me, one said when she visits her family in Virginia, she's got a favorite wine that she's tasted anywhere in the whole country. It's in Virginia, but she can't get it shipped to Mississippi, so she's going to now have that shipped to her. And another person that you wouldn't think, the state of Michigan being a big wine state, another person told me that they go on summer vacations there, and they love the wine that's produced there in Michigan. So it will allow wines that are not readily available in Mississippi. We have an inventory limitation at our ABC warehouse. Mississippi is a liquor-controlled state. Every bottle of wine that's sold in the state of Mississippi comes to us in the Gluckstadt warehouse, and then is shipped all throughout the state by way of truck, to whether it be Biloxi on the coast or all the way up North Mississippi to Corinth. So there's the limitations on how many wines that we can literally inventory in the warehouse. Wines account to about 60% of the inventory or the floor space of our warehouse, but they produce only 40% of the revenue. And you say, well, how does that such that happens? And one of the reasons is because the number one selling wine in Mississippi right now that takes up a lot of floor space is a $6 bottle of Mad Dog, believe it or not. So we're selling $6 bottles here and making the tax on that when we've got people willing to pay $100, $150, $200 for a bottle that we're going to put a 15.5% tax on, and the state will not even have to inventory that product. That product will be shipped directly to the consumer, and the tax will be remitted from the winery straight to the state. So it's the best of both worlds. We don't have to risk breaking one of those bottles in our warehouse and paying for it. We just simply collect the tax, and the consumer gets the product.
Yeah. So would residents, Senator, be able to buy wine that is stocked or distributed by ABC?
What was the first part of it? Would residents what?
Yeah, would they be able to buy wine that is stocked and is distributed by ABC?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No, we're typically talking about the boutique wineries. Okay. The products that are going to be available here, and that's one thing we wanted to make sure we didn't compete with our retail outlets. This is not for the $10 bottle of wine that you can readily buy here. Because of the way the tax structure works, it'd be more economically feasible for you to just go to your liquor store and buy a $10 or $20 bottle here. Many of these wineries require you to have a membership, to pay a membership fee in order to get the product. And then some of them say, okay, if you're going to get a membership, you're going to have to guarantee that you'll buy a certain amount of product each year. Some of them, but some of them will sell smaller quantities. So economically, it's not going to be something that competes with our local retailers, because it's it's so much easier just to go and buy here and get a cheaper bottle of wine. This is for more expensive bottles that we cannot inventory in Mississippi. We don't have the floor space in the warehouse.
Okay, and so would the same taxes be applied?
Well, the tax structure is a little different because the winery, let's just pick California since that's the most populous wine state. They're going to charge a retail sales tax in California, so that tax is going to go to the state of California.
Okay.
But we're going to make that winery by a wholesaler's permit. They're going to register with the state of Mississippi. The permit is only $100, so nobody's going to have any motivation to try to cheat the state out of $100. They'll make that profit back on the first sale they make in Mississippi. But when they pay that tax, then they're going to add 15.5% fee to the case of wine, and that 15.5% fee is going to be remitted straight to the tax commission.
Okay, because that's actually a significant chunk of revenue, is it not, to the state? All the various taxes at the different levels that are generated through the distribution and sale of alcohol.
It is. 15.5%, of course, is more than double of our state sales tax.
Wow.
Many people say we don't have wine in grocery stores. Well, we really do have wine in grocery stores right now. If you go to a big store, you'll see wine all over the place. But that's because it's limited to about 4% alcohol or less.
I see.
And that, of course, is just taxed at 7%. And all the different beers and craft beers that we have now in Mississippi, some as high as 9.5% alcohol, they're taxed at 7%. So this is double the tax. But these consumers have proven, someone's gone out to a winery and they have a product that they really like, just like the Amazon model. We need to be able to make it available to them. That's about the only thing I can think of that you can't buy through internet seller.
And so these wineries, they presently have systems that allow people to buy wine and have it direct shipped to them now. So, I mean, there's no change there other than, I guess, they would be made aware of the change in our laws that they could permit Mississippians to purchase.
Yeah, well, currently, if they're abiding by Mississippi law, if you're at a winery and you tell them you just had a tasting and you really enjoyed that wine and you'd like to have a case shipped to Mississippi, they're going to look at their list and they say, sorry, Mississippi's one of 3 states we can't ship to.
Huh.
Now, if they break the law, some people that will try to circumvent that law and maybe have it shipped to a relative's house in an adjacent state, and then when they go visit them, they'll go pick up the product. Well, in that instance, the state's getting no tax on that product.
Yeah.
So this is a way for us to appease the consumer and get the tax at the same time.
What kind of feedback have you received from the retail liquor stores in Mississippi?
I have not personally heard from anybody. Obviously, this issue has been out there.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I've introduced the bill for 8 years in a row. They know it's been out there. I will say this. Over the years, the retail stores have told us that, if we would give them some concessions, that they'd be interested in allowing the direct shipment. We've done things like allow liquor stores to have tastings in their stores. We've also allowed them to sell other products. We actually passed a bill a few years ago that if you had a expensive wine that you tasted at a boutique and you wanted to have that wine shipped, we allowed that to be shipped to the liquor store and you go pick it up at the liquor store. But that just didn't work very well. It just has not led to much in the way of sales.
Okay, I got you. Before we go, what do you think about the debate over taxes, tax reform, different bills, the House and the Senate? You think we'll get something there?
I believe something. There's a lot of commonalities in the legislation. Both chambers are interested in reducing taxes, and I think just it's going to take. We got 4 weeks left in the session, and I believe you'll see something happen there.
Well, let's hope so. Back to this issue I got on the text line I'm looking at. Is there any chance that we may open up this direct ship to other than alcohol products other than wine in the future?
Well, the Spirits Council would love to have been part of the bill, but you got to walk before you can run, and
sure.
We just felt like that was complicating the issue too much. You could get, like I just said, you can order anything from Walmart, from Amazon. You can get just about anything shipped to your house, and it does seem kind of strange to not allow products such as that to be shipped directly to you. One other thing we have, I think one of the other reasons that maybe some of the senators and House members have changed their vote and voted in favor of this is we have bills every year that come up with different items that are sold at convenience stores like vape and hemp and CBD and kratom and all these items that the consumer can step right out of the store and ingest or whatever, they smoke it or vape it or whatever, and then get behind the wheel and drive. Having something shipped directly to your house where someone over the age of 21 has to be there to sign for it is not a bad way to do things.
Yeah, absolutely. Senator Walter Michel, always good to talk to you, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, George. Have a great day.
You bet. You too. We're coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth studio. Don't forget.